All right, everyone. Welcome to the post-round coverage from round one of the 2019 Green Mountain Championship. This is Road Life Commentary coming at you, Nate Perkins and Paige Pierce.
Yeah, we have Kona star Panis, myself, Jessica Weese, and Hailey King on this front nine coverage of the round one. We're on Brewster Ridge, the tighter course of the two. This one's super fun to play, and this one's pretty important because it's our last pro tour before the championship, so everyone's fighting for their position and a lot on the line.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite events of the year.
Definitely. Such a good tournament.
Yeah.
And great courses to compete on, one tight and one open.
Absolutely. And we're here on Brewster Ridge, the more wooded of the two courses. We're getting right into it. Hole one, it's a par 3, 315 feet. Pretty much straight for the entire length of the hole. It kind of tapers off just to the right at the end. You're going to see a lot of forehands. Maybe a couple straight backhands.
Yeah, you really just want it to fly straight, like 300 feet. And
and she's right into it.
Yeah, Kona's been developing this sidearm for quite some time, and it's really, really impressive. She got well through the gap, and she's looking at a just outside the circle putt for a birdie.
Was it me, or did she not take a lot of time on that shot?
She did. I mean, I wouldn't say she rushed it by any means, but
she was ready, though.
Yeah, she was feeling it.
Good looking forehand to start out the event. You're going gatekeeper right here.
I am. This is just supposed to be a straight backhand and go for a longer putt. I'm not trying to really turn the corner and challenge that right side of the fairway. You just want to get a putt on this one. And my sidearm doesn't feel super, super confident from that distance. But the three other players on my card have really strong forehands, so it's going to be awesome to see the variety in shots during this round.
Jessica Weese, definitely no stranger to the forehand. I'm guessing she's throwing something fast right there. Do you know what?
Yeah, I believe this is her Pharaoh from Infinite. She throws a couple of those overstable, and for her understable, she likes the Vulcan.
All right, and this is actually my first time watching Hailey King play. I've heard a lot of really great things about her power. I'm really excited to see the rest of her game and what she brings.
Yeah.
A little insight on that first forehand.
You nailed it, though, with the power thing. She's very powerful, sidearm and backhand. That first one with the Zeus kind of came out a little early, so she didn't quite get it there. But
wow, did you go over that limb?
I did, yeah.
Wow,
I did.
That was sick.
It was my most direct line. Trying to get one on the first hole. Kona, too, tickling the chains, but not quite connecting. See if Jessica can get one.
Wow.
Right.
Super hyzer on that putt, too. You know, Jessica's one of those players that we will see switch angles completely.
Yeah, on
that
her
one,
putt.
She opts to go with the steep hyzer. And honestly, I feel like we're normally used to seeing her putt from Annie at that distance, are we not?
Yeah, she kind of goes back and forth between Annie and hyzer, and it actually kind of, it's very interesting to me. It's intriguing, but, you know, she seems to know which one's going to work, and she's loving that Nexus AVR. I know it's her signature disc, and, you know, getting the birdie on the first hole seems like she's connecting well.
Yeah, it's a nice birdie. And Hailey just a little right side on her 15-footer, and she's going to be taking an unfortunate bogey to start the event. We are moving right on into hole 2. It's a par 4, 550 feet. We've got an OB wall the entire length of the hole on the right. Ideally, you want to land right here at the short pad. Anything after that is somewhat of a bonus, and then you've got a pretty tight little lane that shapes from left to right up to this pin. This is a very difficult par 4. Certainly plays over par for the ladies.
Yeah, that rock wall also kind of is like a double penalty, I would say. It's like if you go OB, also then taking your meter, you have really tricky footing, so you really don't want to go anywhere near the right side. And Jess is showing that she's quite a bit off the fairway on the left side. That was her Valkyrie.
Yeah, left side is safe, but it's certainly out of position.
And look at this hyzer flip with the Roadrunner from Kona.
Good looking shape. And you see that just trail off to the left right there? That's going to put her out of position, and she's going to be looking at a wall of trees. She may even have to lay up her second.
Yeah, that was my Marshall, just trying to be a little soft and put it in the fairway, and unfortunately just a little too soft. Hailey here with this stalker. You're going to see Hailey throw a lot of stalkers today. She loves this fairway driver. I think that's her best speed of disc, is like speed 7 to 10, somewhere in there. Throws them really well.
And you're lining up a big shot right here. You going felon?
Yeah, I saw a little hyzer gap.
Yeah.
It was really pinched off, so I had to put a lot of power on it. I got, 60% of the way up there, so forward progress is good. And honestly, a par on this hole is really good, I feel like. Even for the men, this hole is very difficult. Hailey finding OB just shows you how easy it is to go OB on this one.
And Kona going for that traditional Anheuser forehand to access this pin. Turns it over just a little too much, but she's on the safe side. You can see Hailey's just trailed off just a bit and is actually found that OB wall on the right. And Jessica needs to sit down. And it does. And this is such a tight little approach right here to this green.
Yeah, if you're in a good spot, you have a pretty easy look at it. But to get in that spot is so difficult. How tight the fairway is just really crazy, and especially when you're staring at that wall right there.
So that's Hailey's putt from circle 2. And you see Jessica, she might have had some obstruction right there, but she went on a really stout Anheuser angle, connects with another nice putt.
Yeah, super different from what we saw on hole 1 already. And you're going to see that come and go, I don't even actually know why she switches from hyzer to Anheuser. It seems like every putt is different for her. Kona with another par. Kona actually texted me before this event started and saying, I'm super stoked to play with you round 1. I'm excited for you to see my new putt. She's been working on her putt a lot, putting a little more spin on it. She was a push putter and hasn't been finding success with it. So I'm excited to watch how her putt goes this week.
And we're moving right into hole 3. It's a par 3, 325 feet. No OB to speak of on this one. It's kind of a blind shot. You're looking straight up this hill. Can't see the basket. Jessica's shot looking really nice. Oh, yeah, and that tree just kept it from being parked, but a beautiful shape.
Kona again with the Roadrunner here.
Oh, wow.
I like the control she puts on this Roadrunner. She throws it with a severe hyzer and trying to flip it up to flat and just penetrate forward. Unfortunately, that was very grip locked with my gatekeeper over to the right side, but it's pretty easy to save par on this one, but you do want to get a chance at 2 on this hole.
And Hailey's shot looked like it was a beeline, but it's just a tad low. And that's a nice approach. This hole 3 is just elevated enough to make these players kind of think about it a little bit. Even these approaches, you need to think about how it's landing because you don't. And Kona actually decides to lay that one up. That's a really rare layup from that close. I mean, the pin's a little elevated. That was definitely a controversial layup.
Yeah, I hear the surprise in your voice, and I was surprised as well, especially like I'm saying, after she's been practicing her putt. She actually even posted that one on her Instagram and was saying, like, sometimes it's smart to lay up, especially if you're not feeling it. So I respect her decision, but I was questioning it definitely at the time. Jessica with the only birdie will go up to 2 under.
And we are moving into hole 4. It's a par 4, 575 feet. This one also has a very sensitive landing zone. There's a small window that you can land right here past this big tree that is going to give you an option to go for this green. If you're anywhere outside of that position, it becomes a very difficult hole. There's no OB on this one, but this one also plays well over par because of how tight it is to approach this green. Jessica lining up a forehand. You know where she's throwing right there?
Yeah, that's her Vulcan, Star Vulcan.
So super flippy right here. Look how this one flips up real late. She's going to be well out of position on the left side.
And Kona slips a little bit, gets it nose up, and will kick left side. Well out of position over there as well. She's going to have to pitch out and try to get back to the fairway.
So you're going putter right here just to land it in that landing zone, and you get a little kick off to the left, and you're out of position as well. Oh, and it looks like maybe Hailey slipped as well because she yanked over on that one, and she is certainly out of position.
Kona now with their AVR3, X3.
Really?
Good little.
That's an AVR X3?
Yeah, good little sidearm out of there.
Yeah.
Just trying to
really
get in position by
nice
that
placement
dark tree.
shot.
And you can see we're all kind of aiming at the same spot. Once you get off the fairway, you just want to get back to that spot so you have a decent chance at saving par from there. And another hole at Brewster where par feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. This one does play over par. So if you are taking a 4, you're likely picking up strokes on your field. And this is Jessica's second, and she is also just laying up into the ideal position. Really, it just takes so much touch to get a forehand to stand up the way that Jessica Weese can get one to flip up. And that Marshall was tracking. It hits a late Guardian tree, and it's going to drop to just outside circle 2.
Hailey with a stalker again. Nice glidey shot with a severe angle, trying to get some air under it to get that glide. Almost over the rock wall, but she's going to find herself short of there.
And a nice approach from Kona. And that's Hailey just laying that one up from 70 feet. And you've got this to save par from just outside the circle. Oh, yes. No jump required. Those rocks might have prevented you from even being able to jump.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't really jump forward without falling into the wall, so just had to put some more leg into it. Jess didn't really have a good stance either. She was having to really force her body up and get that momentum on that Anheuser angle. And Kona will settle for a bogey on this one. Same with Hailey.
Definitely a tough hole. You can see just how quickly. And thanks to Discraft for sponsoring the event. Paul Ulubari, we sure do miss you, buddy. And we are moving into hole 5, par 3, 285 feet. We've got an OB wall the entire length of the hole on our left, which definitely makes these players think about their angle. You're going to see a lot of forehands. This basket is just off to the right after you pass that wall of trees. And Paige is actually going to take a putter. You're going to take a Marshall, and you're just trying to throw this one straight, maybe finish a little to the right.
Yeah, it's pretty flippy, so I'm just trying to punch it on a hyzer and let it flip on its own.
And that is a very high-level shot right there. You're going to be just outside the circle, but looking at a birdie.
Jessica with a sidearm, a little too much torque on that, flips it over, but the late tree kick actually helps her out, and she's right in the center of the fairway.
Big time. That kept her from going out of bounds for sure. Kona, a little bit early release. She's not very happy with that shot. Let's see what Hailey's got on the forehand. You know what she's throwing right there?
I believe that's the new Onyx. Onyx?
Oh, it's the Onyx. That
Onyx,
is
yeah.
absolutely part. What
Beautiful
a beautiful
shot.
forehand from Hailey King.
She has so much speed control on her sidearm. It's really impressive. Jessica with a nice jump putt. Anheuser. And Kona, she actually thought she overthrew this one, but I thought it was a great ground play. Just right into the mulch and let it kind of skid up there.
Okay, you were actually inside the circle after that backhand. What a great hole in general. Good putt. And Hailey's just going to tap that one in.
In the bullseye. Beautiful sidearm. And really powerful. It's awesome to see the power and the beauty in one shot.
Kona fires that one in there for her bogey. All right, we are moving into hole 6. It's a par 3, 365 feet. We got a relatively small gap off the tee. This is a soft right to left finish down toward our green. Anything off in these woods early left is going to bring the bogey into play. There's no OB to speak of on this hole, but this is definitely a tough 2. The basket is blind to you off the tee, and it's very easy to sail this one. And you just hung on to that suspect a little too long.
Hailey now with another stalker. She's going wide and high. Unfortunately, a little bit too wide and finds that late tree, but she's still inside circle 2. Jessica opts for a completely different disc. This is a Star Coyote. She's going super hyzer flip here and gets that skip forward.
That is just gorgeous.
Into the mulch. Jessica has I like her game style. She throws such flippy discs on a severe hyzer. It's very different. It's unique.
And Kona also with a nice shot. She's going to be looking at birdie from about 50 feet. This is your approach. Definitely a touchy approach down this hill. And you've got this for par. Definitely committed to that one, Paige.
Yeah.
Did she lay that one up too?
Yeah, I believe that was a layup as well. I think that Kona is knowing her capabilities and just seeing that one was just outside her capabilities at the moment anyway, and just deciding, I'd rather take an easy par than stressful potential birdie or bogey. And it's not a bad play. I don't think. I feel like if you're going for the win, maybe so, but also it's round 1. What just
happened? Your disc rolled up the hill, crossed the tree, rolled back down to the pin. And that's going to be an unfortunate 3-putt for your double bogey. Yeah, Kona definitely seems like par's the goal here today.
Yeah, and if she keeps up with that plan, we'll see how it fares for her. Is par good enough on Brewster Ridge to get you back on the lead card for round 2? We'll see.
All right, we're moving into hole 7, 605 feet. It's a par 4. There's a couple different options. We're flying through the early option right now. This one is the tighter of the 2. Doesn't require as much distance to reach it. Definitely really tight. You can play straight to the road. The approach to the screen, no matter where you are, it's going to be tight. You're going to have a small window, and you've got a slightly elevated pin. Oh, and Jessica just early release on that drive.
Yeah, super low, super left. She is not going to be happy with that one. Hailey definitely corrects after seeing Jessica early release. This is beautiful up the right side, just like you were talking about.
Gets a little bit of an extra roll to put her in pretty much premium position down there on the right.
Kona again with that Roadrunner.
It looks like also a little bit of an early release. It looked like she was going for that straight gap.
I'm definitely going for the left gap, though. Like you said, it takes a lot of distance off the hole. And I actually prefer the upshot from over there. So I'm throwing my felon up the left side. Jessica left with a really difficult position from that drive.
Oh, and she's going forehand roller.
Ooh.
Oh, and she lays it down nice. It gets a pretty late root.
Kona going with the backdoor. Anheuser gets quite a ways up there, but she's still quite a bit short.
Yeah, pretty clean, too. Hailey's in premium position. She's ripping over on this mid-range.
And this is her Hailstorm Buzz.
She is in circle 1 for a birdie here on par 4, number 7. Oh, and you nearly peered that gap with your putter.
Kona now another sidearm with that VRX3.
Oh, slides it on the wood chips.
She's
Beautiful
got good
approach.
angle control with that disc.
Yeah, she's got that Anheuser angle release figured out. From just outside the circle, you were just a bit high. Wow.
Made that hole look easy.
What a sweet birdie from Hailey. Back-to-back birdies.
And honestly, a bogey from that drive is pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought, double bogey at best was what I was thinking from how far left and how short off the tee she was. So that sidearm roller definitely came in hand for... Oh. Kona kind of put up a little dance. She thought she missed that one.
She's making me just a little bit nervous on the putting green. All right, we are moving into hole 8. It's a par 4, 440 feet. One of the most difficult holes out here at Brewster Ridge. Another one where the landing zone is very, very precise. Anything to the right takes you immediately out of position. Anything off into the woods on the far left will also take you out of position. And then you have a tough, long, uphill approach. Very tough hole.
Yeah, this is one of the newer holes, which is pretty impressive just looking at it. It doesn't look like it's new. Hailey's going with the sidearm here and doesn't quite get enough angle on it. She's going to be early right, and it's not very easy from in there. Kona with a gorgeous hyzer flip, but just not enough time in the air to correct itself and finish back hyzer.
Oh, and that just needed to beat that one, and that was going to be way up the fairway. It actually kicked you off into a pretty tough spot.
Jessica with super flippy Star Vulcan again. Check out how severe of a hyzer she releases that on to get it to flip up.
It's so unique. There's not a lot of other people that are throwing that flippy of molds on the tour.
No, and for every speed too. For her distance driver, the Star Vulcan. For her fairway, the 160 gram Valkyrie. In her approach dish, she throws a Sonic.
Yeah, she's got a unique game. She's definitely figured out how to make it work. Oh, and she just sneaks by that one, and she has put it within 15 feet for a birdie 3.
Oh, Hailey had a pretty wide open look there. You could tell the disappointment in her mannerisms. She's going to be about 40 feet left and short. But that's within her range. I think she's one of the top 5 best women's putters on tour.
Oh, what?
Yes, Kona.
And Kona, showing no fear on this uphill putt, just drops it in beautifully. She is stoked about that one.
And that makes me question why lay up those first few if you're going to make a putt like that.
Yeah, if putts like that are possible. And Hailey King with a beautiful correction right there. Finds the right pocket of the chains for a great par save. Jessica Weese leading the way with another sweet birdie. She moves to 2 under par for the round. All right, we are moving into hole 9. It's a par 3, 305 feet, pretty much downhill the entire length of the hole. We've got a pretty tight gap off the tee. Any of these early trees, right or left, are going to bring the bogey into play. The green is pretty sloped here. Anything on the top of this hill is going to be pretty much a death putt. But this is one that these ladies are definitely looking to card a 2 on.
Kona with a little bit of an early release. Ooh, that second kick was very beneficial, though. Kept her in the middle of the fairway. Jessica, a tiny bit high. It's filtering out to the left. She's past pin high, but she's going to be in the woods. We'll see if she has a line at the basket.
And there's Hailey getting over on top of another one. That miss, she's just kind of out in front of herself and hanging onto the disc just a little too long. And you as well, just a little bit late release. You're going to catch a right tree and get a brutal kick to the right.
Wow. Look at that gap. Oh
Wow.
my gosh. That's kind of a gap where you have to hit with power and confidence. And she obviously did, but she's going to find herself about 40 feet deep. Such a good shot there.
Oh, and Kona a little lucky to slide past those Guardians. She's going to have a look for her par. And this is where you're in no man's land. And that actually rolled back to you. Oh, no.
I had pretty much nothing. It was just like, okay, I guess let's try to get ourselves a 70-footer. And not even that was accomplished. So we're going to settle for a bogey putt. Hailey, on the other hand, has a putt for birdie. Oh.
For par.
Or for par, I'm sorry. And just couldn't quite get it high enough.
And this is for par. Just a little low from Kona. Yeah, you can see these bogeys happen so quick out here at Brewster Ridge. Everything is relatively straightforward on paper, but the minute you get that kick off into the woods, it becomes a different hole entirely. Bogeys can happen quickly.
Yeah. And coming up on the back 9, we have one open hole to start, and then it gets into a lot more tight holes. You know, it's just a matter of hitting the fairway and trying to get some birdies, staying away from the bogeys. We got Rebecca Cox at 2 under, and Jessica Weese is still at 2 under. We'll see what happens on the back 9. Join us.